There is a big difference between how the left and how the right approach things. For the most part, on any issue, one side wants to force their solution onto everyone else, while the other side wants to allow you to solve it yourself. One side believes that everyone should agree on an issue, while the other side recognizes that we're all different and think differently, and that it's your right not to agree. One side preaches tolerance, while the other side practices it. Tolerance is a word that is always thrown around when talking about any issue concerning homosexuality. But what does tolerance actually mean? According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, it's sympathy or indulgence for beliefs or practices differing from or conflicting with one's own. And the word conflicting means incompatible. So tolerance means to have sympathy for beliefs that are incompatible to your own. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with them. It doesn't mean you have to take part in anything. It just means that you will accept that some people are different than you. When they say that we should be more tolerant towards the LGBT community, what they actually mean is that we should agree with their lifestyle. But that's not tolerance. I might disagree with a lot of people's lifestyles, but it doesn't mean I don't tolerate them. I accept the fact that there are people who are into things that I think are sinful, unhealthy, wasteful, stupid, or all out disgusting. But I don't have to take part in it or give them my blessings. They don't need me to say that what they do is okay. And trying to force me to is the opposite of tolerance. The issue that put Jordan Peterson on the map was the left trying to force him to speak a certain way. The people who claim to be tolerant want to force Professor Peterson to use transgender pronouns. He didn't even say that he wouldn't use whatever pronouns a student asks him to use, which is a great example of how tolerant he is, but not the left. They want to make laws on what speech a person can use, and they're very serious about punishing anyone who doesn't go along. The comedian Dave Chappelle laid it out nicely with his impression calling out cancel culture, which is an outgrowth of political correctness. What Chappelle doesn't point out, though, is that it's the left and Democrats that have created it. And it's mostly been selective outrage that's mostly been used against people on the right. However, it's starting to get out of their control. Their weapon of political correctness has morphed into a cancel culture monster willing to eat anything in its path. It's gotten so bad that they're afraid to have someone host an award show. Do you remember when Kevin Hart got fired from hosting the Oscars? They decided that it was too risky to hire anyone else, but they still gave out awards, which doesn't make sense because if they can't find a person that's worthy enough to host it, how could they possibly find an actor that's worthy enough to be celebrated? If it continues on the path that it's going, they will stop giving out awards. But we're starting to see a correction, and it's been coming for some time now. The election of Donald Trump was the first clear sign that the tide was turning, and now Chappelle literally standing up and pointing his finger at it has brought the issue front and center. And right on cue, people are outraged that New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees promoted Bring Your Bible to School Day, or that actress Jennifer Aniston has too much of a tan. Yeah, a white person with too much of a tan is now a problem for people on the left. They want her punished. We have to laugh these people out of the room. We have to stand up like Dave Chappelle and call them out to their faces. We used to have a common saying in America. If we said or did something that someone else didn't like, we'd justify it by saying, hey, it's a free country. But I bet you haven't heard that one in a long time, have you? Look, if we had to hold everyone accountable for every stupid thing they ever said or did, we'd all get fired from our jobs. But now that it's gotten out of control, the absurdity of PC and cancel culture has a light shine directly on it. And that's a good thing. Freedom of speech is the very foundation of this nation, and political correctness was created to relegate it meaningless. Being free to express ourselves allows us to develop and progress as a country, and political correctness was created to steer that progress to the left. It's never been about tolerance or inclusion or compassion or whatever term they deceptively use. It's always been about achieving their political ends. It's great that someone like Dave Chappelle stood up and showed some backbone, but that's not enough to make a difference. We have to continue calling these people out, and we have to continue speaking honestly and freely. Because if we don't, I'm afraid that this will end up just being the moment that Dave Chappelle's career died. And that's a simple truth. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to become a supporting member of Blue Collar Logic, click on the link in the description and give what you can.